try it like it created. And today I'm going to be making a pair of butterfly wing earrings, or dragonfly wing earrings. And this is a kit that I got from Beebeecraft. And just to show you, this is the box that it comes in. And I'm going to bring you down rather close here so you can follow along and see what I'm doing. And it comes with an instruction sheet, and the ones I'm going to be making are like this right here with the hanging down wire and the beads. And all the materials you need, except for your jewelry making tools, come in this kit. And when you open that box, you're going to see that you get this nice little box that has all the parts in here to make 10 pairs of earrings. So what you've got is you've got some gems, or excuse me, you've got some charms, you've got beads, you've got some wire pieces here, which are both the looped end wire, and then you have some, what I think are like dangles that are at an angle. And then you have your ear wires, you have some jump rings, you have some round hoops that are part of some of those decorative pieces, and then you get chain. Now the chain is one constant chain, so you're going to have to cut that. And I've done that ahead of time just to get us going here. So let me just move the pieces over that we're going to be using to be centered for you, and then see if I can bring you down a little bit closer. So hopefully we can get into, and so what I have in front of me is I have some wire cutters, and the reason I have these is because I had to cut the chain, and we'll have to cut off these pieces here as we use them with the beads. And let's see if I can get you back in focus. There we go. We'll have to cut these pieces here. I have a round nose plier, and I have a flat nose plier. All right, so to begin, taking a look, your wings, it's kind of hard against my same colored hand here. The wings come like this, and there are, if we look up close to them, there are little holes. Let me see if I can get that to show up. There are little holes in the wings, and I thought, are we supposed to cut these apart? But I counted, and no, we don't cut those apart. We just fold them in half so that they kind of, flutter. Excuse me. And so then the next thing, or I should say the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my beads on my wires, and I'm looking for the opening here. It's a little bit hard to find on this crystal bead. There we go. Just had to get it in the light differently. All right, and I'm going to hold it down tight there and fold this piece over right up against that glass bead as close as I can get it. Just one. Okay, so like that, just so I can get it to stay on the wire. And then also we're going to use it that way. So I'm going to do that with this one as well. And I'm just putting my thumb up against it, pushing down on the bead, and bending against my thumb. You can use a tool to do this, but what I found is when you put the tool in there, you're going to get a larger space between the bead and the wire. All right, I'm just going to move those over. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to bend a loop with our wire. All right, so I'm going to bring in my round nose pliers, and I'm going to get up in here. I might have to lift that wire a little bit. But what I'm going to do is decide where on my pliers is the thickness I want of that loop to be. And I'm going to bend it around that piece and pull it back underneath. All right, so what I'm looking at is making a loop. Can you see that? And then I will be cutting it off as close as I can in there. All right, so you can see, because we're going to get, you can see we're going to get some movement here. And then I'm going to also straighten out my wire, just bringing it back over to the center. All right, so you can see that, you know, we're going to have a little bit of movement in there. And if you don't like that movement, I'm just straightening out that wire. The other thing you could do is put this back on, and then you can wrap this piece. I'm going to bring in a tool for this. I'm going to wrap this wire here. All right. I'm going to wrap it around the stem of the wire. Okay, so I'm going to hold on to this. Now this wire seems to be pretty firm, so I'm not getting as much movement as I can with some other wires, but I'm getting a nice wrap there. And to show you, see if I can bring it in close enough for you to see. There is the wrap, whereas the other end there doesn't have the wrap. All right, and so then I'm going to cut that tail off. All right, so I'm going to cut that off, do that to the other bead as well, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have finished off those two beads, and now we're ready to attach them to our wire piece. So what I'm going to do is go in and grab one here, and just to show you that this is the end here with the wire wrapping that I did myself, and this is the loop that came with the wire. That is the end that I'm going to attach to this wire here, because that was manufactured, and I have a better chance of those two loops being the same size. So I'm going to grab my flat nose pliers here. I'm going to just come in and look for the side that's cut, and can you see here, I'm going to go in and lift that opening. So I don't want to pull the loop open, all right? I want to just twist it open like so. So I'm not, and the reason I'm doing this is that the integrity of that loop has not been changed. It is the same size. It's just the ending here. I don't know if it's going to even get in here close enough to see. The ending of this piece has just been moved out from it. Hopefully that makes sense to you. But we don't want to pull on it because we don't want to change the size integrity of the loop. And now I am going to try to thread this wire, chain, I don't know why I keep calling it a wire, onto my loop. All right. And that worked a little bit better than I thought it would on camera, because usually little intricate things like that never go the way you want them to while you're filming. So now I'm going to take that piece and just bend it back into that loop. All right. And I want those, and I'm going to pinch just to the side just to make sure. And if you want, you can take that wire and just wiggle it a little bit. And the more you work the wire, the firmer it becomes. And this is a pretty delicate little chain, and I don't want that bead to come off, but you can see how nice that dangle is going to be. So I'm going to do the same thing with this piece. I'm going to look for that opening again. I'm just lining things up. All right, I'm going to twist it towards myself. Grab my other chain. Hang it on there. My goodness, when you think something's not going to go easily, and it does, it's so nice. All right, so I'm just going to wiggle that back into place just as much as I can, so that in wearing and so forth, that it's not going to slip off that chain. And then we're just going to take our ear wire, and we're going to do the exact same thing. It's the same kind of a loop. All right. Now, what I have found with ear wires is that if you can go without bending this piece, sometimes you're better off. So let's just take a peek here and see what happens if I fold this over and I weed this on here. All right. Yeah, the ear wire is going the right direction. So I really don't want to have to use a jump ring if I don't need to. I want to use this loop. But bending this loop, sometimes it's hardened enough that it will break. So we'll just see how how well these are made. We're gonna, once again, take that loop, and you can see I have it the flat side facing you. I'm grabbing it with my flat nose plier, and I'm gonna lift it up towards you. So I'm opening up that loop, but I am not pulling it open. All right, so now I'm gonna take my wings and look for the opening, and I don't know if I can get this to go in one go. Let's see if I can hold that bead down and get this to line up. Well, I'll try one at a time. See if that works. So yeah, this opening is a little bit hard to locate and get in there. Okay, I got it. Now let's not pull it off and get the next one. Did I get it? Not yet. And I think I just, did I pull that one off? No, I didn't. Okay. So we're gonna leave that one up there. Get this one lined up. All right. Woo! All right, so the wings went on first, and then I'm gonna take my chain and put my chain on here. And you know what? I may have to, let me grab my round nose plier and see if I can get in here easier with this instead of my fingers. Okay. Yeah, all right. And then I'm gonna take that loop and twist it back into place. And I gotta get the wing out of the way. So I'm finding the top of the wing is a little bit bigger than the opening of that loop, but there we go. All right, so what we have is the wings hanging like so with the dangle underneath it. Can you see? All right, so that's that one. And I think, you know, we could have connected this with a jump ring, but I really wanted it to hang correctly. We would have had to put 2 jump rings on here to get it to hang to the front. Now, if you want your wings to hang to the side of your head, line up along the side of your neck, then a jump ring is what you would use to attach. So hopefully that makes sense. I think if you have this in front of you and you're working with it and you're looking to see what it will look like when you're wearing it, you'll get a sense of what that looks like. All right, so then I just need to do the same steps on the other one. The only other thing that I want to do is make sure that my wings go on my ear wire. See, I don't want to be in the same direction. I want to flip these guys over so that they look different from each other, so that they mirror each other, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm just going to do that and maybe speed this up for you and show you what they look like done. All right, so you can get one done and the second one goes a heck of a lot easier for some reason, because you know what you're doing and you just did it. So let me hold these up together to show you. All right, so my wings are mirror images, and then my chains are dangling, and it looks like I am off on my wire by, what does it look like? About 3 chains. So I'm gonna have to cut that from this one here. And I'll just go ahead and show you exactly what I did. So I want to get rid of 3 chains, right? So that's 1, 2, 3. And so I'm going to hold on to this piece here. I'm going to nip at that chain. There's no pulling this apart. These are just, you're going to cut that chain and you're going to lose that loop. All right. So, and you can just pull on it and then take that one out. All right. So then I'll go back in here, bend my loop open again, take that little piece of chain off that's on there. If I can get it to come off. There we go. The nice thing about round beads is that there's no right or wrong direction for them. You just put them on. So like where I had to pay attention to what I was doing with the butterfly wings, I don't have to do that with the beads. Okay, so now let's see how we're doing here lengthwise. Hang those together, drop those down, and now they're perfectly even with each other. All right, so there are my butterfly wing earrings, and if I can get them to separate enough, you can see, got them on the wrong side, you can see there that the really delicate wings are layered and they will flutter like so, and they are mirror images of each other. So there we go. There is our earrings done. Now, you can follow the instructions, which I did for this pair. You're going to get enough to make 10 pairs of earrings in this kit. And if you like what you're seeing here, you're going to get all the parts to make these exact earrings. But you can do your own thing. You can, if you want them all to look like this, then make them all like this. If you want to use none of the charms and use your charms for another project, you have that option as well. You could dangle multiple things here. So here on this picture here, you can see we've got the wing hanging, we've got a bead hanging, we've got the chain hanging, and then we also have a charm. The loop was used and the ear wire. So it's got everything that comes in this kit on that earring. And you can see here that they're making their wings go the same direction. I don't care for that. I like the mirrored look on either side of your head, so that's something to think about as well, as if you care about that or not. This was a sponsored post by Beebeecraft. They sent me this kit to work with. I will put a link down below to this kit exactly, as well as to Beebeecraft itself. So if you'd like to make this exact kit, please follow the link to make your butterfly earrings. Or if you'd like to look and see what other craft supplies they have so much more than just jewelry making. And I have a couple of other videos that show crafts with using their products as well. So thanks to them for supplying this kit, and I hope you enjoyed it and that you will take a look at Beebeecraft and probably get some for yourself as well.